there, Jody here, and welcome or welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here on my channel, I talk about Broadway books and television. And in today's video, I'm going to be going over my thoughts on the first episode of a new series on ABC called R.J. Decker. This is a new series that stars Scott Speedman in the leading role. In this review, I will briefly go over what the show is about, my thoughts on it, and my recommendation. So without any further ado, let's get on to today's review. The show is basically about a guy named R.J. Decker who was a photojournalist, and he gets fired from his job because of a really bad situation where somebody is trying to rob him and he beats them up really bad. And he ends up going to prison for 2 years. And then when he gets out of prison, he becomes a private investigator. And that's basically what the show is about. I get the impression based on the first episode that it's going to be like an episodic kind of series where each episode is a different case. So now for my thoughts on the show. I really like the show. For me, the show has a very mid-2000s USA Network feel to it. Think like Burn Notice and Psych. It has, to me, the same feel that those series had, where they're very fun, very charming, very quirky, and, you know, just like fun to watch. And you know, everybody on the show is really great. Scott Speedman, like I said, is in the leading role, playing R.J. Decker, and, you know, such a fan of his because he was on my favorite show, Growing Up with Felicity. So it's really nice to see him in the leading role on another show. And what I also think the show does really well is take advantage of the setting of where the story takes place, which is in Florida. The show has this very beachy, like, vibe to it. It feels like, you know, the characters are really never far away from, like, the ocean and the sand and the sunshine, and that's fun to see. And I have to say, in the last 2 years, I kind of gave up on network television. Not all of it, but it was just, the shows on network television weren't really that interesting to me. They didn't seem that interesting to me. And I have to say, in the last year or so, I think that's kind of turned around because I'm much more interested in shows on network television than I was, you know, a few years ago. And this is a really great show on ABC that I really can't wait to watch more of. My thoughts on the show, and before I get to my recommendation, I forgot to mention this earlier in the video, but this is a book adaptation. I believe it's a book series. Just to let you know, it is a television series adaptation. So I mentioned that just in case you're interested in checking out the book series before watching the show. I myself haven't read the book series, so I can't say how closely the television show follows the book series, but I just thought I mentioned that in case you're interested in book adaptations. So now moving on to my recommendation. You know, I would say this is definitely a fun show, definitely one worth checking out. Like I mentioned earlier as well, if you really like the television series Psych and Burn Notice and the feel of those mid-2000s USA Network kind of shows, I think you would love this show because it really feels like one of those shows to me where it's just fun and easy to watch and a good time. So yeah, that's going to be it for today's video. Let me know in the comments if you checked out R.J. Decker and what are your thoughts on the show. That's going to be it for today. Thank you so very much for watching, and until next time, bye.